everybody, welcome to the second episode of the Hobby Break. If you're just catching this video on the fly and are wondering what this is about, take a look at the links below. I just posted episode 1, I posted episode 0 a couple of weeks back, kind of outlining the whole process here. But today we're going to start to introduce a little bit of the table itself. And again, I'm going to stress this a lot, I think, throughout the series. I'm trying to come at this from the approach of easy storage, easy construction, just to try to make things as easy as possible for myself and then kind of document that process. So today we're going to feature a couple different things, one of which is this battle mat here. This is from Frontline Gaming. I just wanted to show that they come with this cool carrying case, which again makes it easy to store, makes it easy to transport, and so on. So let's jump in. You may be wondering, hey Joel, where's your normal table that you do your reviews on? Well, that's part of what I'm going to use now. So let's just break that out and I'll talk about that table for a couple of seconds. So I don't think I've ever talked about old Bessie here at all on my videos. So this is the table that I do all of my reviews on, at least for the last few years. I got this at Costco, and you can see it's a foldable table. It's pretty sturdy. It comes with this nice little carrying handle as well. I think this cost me about 60 bucks when I got it, and that seems to be what they run now. This is a 6-foot long table by, I think, 3 feet across, something like that. You can go find them. It's like kind of the standard table they have. So this is what I use. It's easy to carry and load into a truck or a car. So that's kind of handy if I wanted to ever take this to a friend's house or something like that. I did look into getting a ping pong table or something like that, but even folded up, those take up so much room. I mean, this width here is maybe 4 inches. I didn't measure it, but it's not very wide, so you can shove this in the corner like I do. So let's lay this out, and that'll be one part of the table. Okay, so here is the table all unfolded. Now typically I think this would cover most gaming needs. It's probably a little bit on the thin side, I guess, and a little bit too long for most games. Like if you were to sit around this table and play Kalis, everybody would be kind of focused here in the center of the table. Anyways, so what I'm going to do next here is actually load up these MDF boards here. I'm trying not to flop it down. So you can see this here. This is a 2x4 section of MDF. I went to Home Depot and they have 8-foot by 4-foot sort of slabs, and it's a little bit longer than that, so there was a tiny bit of excess when they cut this. So I actually cut down to 4 of these. I'm only going to use at most 3 probably, but so if you lay 3 of these out on top of this, that's a 6-foot by 4-foot table, which is kind of your standard war game size. The maximum I'm seeing, I guess there's tables that go up to 8-foot by 4-foot, which I could do, but I don't really plan on fielding, like 3,000 point armies. So this is MDF. It's relatively sturdy. I think this is about maybe a little over a ½ inch thick, and it works good. Doesn't warp as long as, at least from what I've read, you lay it flat. And I showed in the last video where I stored this on a shelf in the garage. I've had it there for, I don't know, maybe almost 2 months now, and it hasn't warped or anything. It's been summertime though, but you don't want to get these wet. And so I might look into sealing these somehow, and then maybe even putting a pad or something on the bottom or one side of these. So theoretically, I don't know if this would ever happen, you could take this to somebody's kitchen table and lay it on that. I don't really want to slam a piece of wood on somebody's nice dining room table. But regardless, these pack away nice in the shelf. The table folds away nice. You could theoretically shove this in, a good mid-size or big-size car probably, or an SUV or a truck or something, and fold everything up and throw them in there and take it somewhere. So it's somewhat transportable. So let's lay out the slabs here. Now one thing I'm going to try to do more of here is feature some products. So there's going to be some crafting on my side, some painting and all that stuff, but sometimes it's also much more efficient and better to purchase something. So if you look here, the fine folks at Frontline Gaming sent me this F.A.T mat, and this is a mouse pad mat, whoops, and you can roll this out here, and as I showed you at the beginning of the video, it rolls up nicely in the little carrying case that it comes from. So this is mouse pad material. You can see I'm being sort of rough with it, and so you can just leave this sort of lopped up. So let me smooth this out and lay it out. Okay, so I've smoothed it out here, and this is their Badlands. Now this is a 6x4 map, so it's huge. They do have other sizes like 3x3, 4x4, so if you're playing like a skirmish game, or you know, like War Machine or X-Wing, they've got space mats and stuff like that. Then they've also got all these things. So this one's going to be really nice for a lot of stuff, mostly for I think playing Age of Sigmar or Warhammer. I like the kind of blasted land. Let's just zoom in so you can see the detail. So you can see it's somewhat photorealistic to a certain extent. We've got these kind of rocky crags, sort of wasted grass and some sand, and little craters and things like that all over the map. So I'm pretty happy with it. So one of the things I was sitting down trying to figure out is like, okay, I'm going to set up this big table. It's going to have miniatures. We're going to do scenarios. You know, what's the bottom going to look like? And there's a lot of options. And really, I think the best option is one of these kind of mouse pad neoprene mats. I mean, you can get these big modular tiles and, you know, get those from like Games Workshop or other places, and you can use them. They're very expensive, hundreds and hundreds of dollars. To create something like that, it takes a lot of time and effort. And at the end of the day, you're really just trying to get something that you can kind of balance your terrain and your miniatures onto and kind of ground them in sort of a reality, where this is very, very simple to do. And you know, you can get a couple of different types of these. You can get a snow one and a swamp one and a Badlands one, and then you're good to go. And you really only need probably one or two of these anyway. So the other nice thing about having this flat mat like this is, let's just grab a miniature here, and he's just going to sit like that. You can see he's very tiny, all alone in the wasteland. You know, if you get these big bumpy modular things with like built-in hills and all that stuff, looks really cool, but then, you know, maybe the miniature's falling over and stuff and it's hard to balance, and it just kind of becomes cumbersome and gets in the way a little bit. So I just wanted to kind of highlight, you know, the kind of the process of the table. And again, the theme really is storage. You're able to roll this mat up, put it in its carrying case, stuff it in the corner, throw it in the car. You can bring it with you. You can take the slabs, you know, underneath here, stuff them in the corner. The table itself, the base of it, you can stick in the corner. Let's just have a little fun here and throw down some terrain as a sort of a sneak preview and kind of make the map itself look a little bit better as well. So we'll go ahead and use the patented drive-through view drone cam here. And so I built some of this terrain here. I built all this terrain, some designs from Drive-Thru RPG with kind of this mat here in mind. Now, the sort of the theme in mind with this is not only Age of Sigmar, but also Wartime, which is an older Warhammer game, which there's rumors that they're coming back with. So I kind of wanted this like blown out village, like it's been bombed out or just blown away by the forces of chaos. So I built some of this stuff. So I've got some rubble and stuff. I'll talk about this terrain in another review and how I put that together. But I just kind of want to give you just kind of a cool like look at it. And so it really brings the mat into life, and the mat kind of brings the terrain into life. And so we have this kind of battle here. And I just really like the look of it, and I'm excited to build more terrain for this. And you know, just kind of go for it. This piece of terrain needs a little bit more work, but yeah. So I'm really excited, in case it hasn't come across, about putting all this together, and you know, hopefully doing some battle reports and different you know, campaigns and narrative stories, and they have these Path to Glory things you can do, and there's also another game called Frostgrave, which I can use these miniatures in, and stuff like that. So I'm pretty excited about this. It's a fun project, and I think hopefully it feels like it's doable for folks. You know, that's again kind of the theme of it is you can get in here, you can pack it away, make it modular to a degree, and you know, hopefully make it somewhat cost effective to set up these kinds of cool scenarios, because I think there's a lot of potential for just the narrative aspect of it and the thematic parts of it. So anyway, that is the lone village there in the Age of Chaos, soon to be the Age of Sigmar. And I don't know who lived here, but they're no longer here, and now these people are fighting over it for some reason. So anyway, that is the sort of the preparation of the table. Thanks again to F.A.T Gaming, Frontline Gaming, for sending me this mat. It's awesome. And hopefully you will see a battle report here in somewhat short order. I'll talk more about that in another video, but thanks.